Yo, what's going on, guys? I want to welcome you to episode 1 of the Do Work podcast. I'm Diva Richards, and the only thing that matters here in this space, and the thing that we believe in firmly, myself and those who follow me, the Do Work crew, is that nothing changes unless you do, and nothing changes unless you do the work. So the whole purpose and format of this podcast is to create a space where we can speak freely, we can agree to disagree, we can explore the human condition. I know this sounds like heavy stuff, but it's really not. It's really not. We can explore the human condition, we can discuss entrepreneurship. I personally feel that entrepreneurship and just life are intertwined. So a lot of what I do, and a lot of what I do in a lot of my coaching programs is that I combine the two. I find that they mesh very well together. So let's get into it. There's so much that's been happening. I've been trying to get on this podcast train for a while, and everybody's like, "Oh, Diva, you do motivational content all the time," which I do. If you don't follow me on Instagram, make sure to do so. My Instagram, Diva Richards, my name. Um, it's just about time. And I feel like everything I do, I try to do with care and consistency. And I won't start anything until I know I can really be all in and give everything I have. So now we're officially in that space. And I'm so excited because like I can even use more curse words on this platform, which is great, you know? So, yo, let's start talking. So, one of the things I wanted to do is create a space where we, myself, and you, as the audience and the viewer, can speak and address the truth. Um, it's weird. I feel like in this current climate, the truth is just it's lost. The truth is lost. And I don't ever want the truth to get lost. So one of the things I try to do, I find that I personally have very like moderate views. I'm very I want to do what's fair, regardless of if it goes against the grain of what most people are doing. I'm not in this to be the popular follow the train and do what everybody else is doing. I really want to be in a position and create a space where I can speak my mind, and people who come onto my platform can speak their minds. They're going to be guests I have on here that we do not agree. Like they're going to be guests that we just don't agree, and that's fine. And part of the purpose of this space is to create a space where people who don't agree can have dialogue. I feel like dialogue has been lost. Everybody wants to be right. Everybody wants to be right all the time, and it gets to be a little frustrating at times. But the goal is to create a space where we can speak the truth. I don't care about your religious beliefs. I don't care about your political beliefs. I want us to be able to dialogue and speak truth. And I think if more of that happened, the world as a whole would be in a much better place. It'd be in a much better place. So let me tell you a little more about myself, do work method, and what I do. So I have a couple of things I do. First thing I do, I own a brick and mortar. I own a gym. I've been in fitness for over, I don't even know now, probably 30 years. Yeah, take that back. 25 years, about 25 years. And so I always believed in connection between the mind and the body. I've been an entrepreneur in the entrepreneurial space about 17 years now. And I've come to find that the two are very closely related. If your mind and your body are not right, it makes it very hard for your business to be right. And when I created my program, the Do Work Method, I created a program where the two would come together. because the goal is to make anybody I work with better, anybody I interact with better, anybody I address better. Like, I want to make you better. Why? Because I want to be better. So everything I experience, everything I go through, I share with you in hopes that it'll give you some insights so you don't make the same stupid mistakes I've made on my journey thus far in my 40 plus years on this earth. That is the goal. Like, that is the bigger goal for me. I want everybody to win. I say this all the time, and I know people say it and maybe you don't believe it, but I want everybody to win. I want everybody to win. It doesn't matter if there are a million life coaches. It doesn't matter if there are a million makeup artists or fitness club owners. I want everybody to win. The world has billions of people on it. We can all be successful in our various careers and still be supportive. Yes, and still be competitive. I believe in free enterprise. I believe in capitalism. I do. I know some people are like, oh my God, no, I do. I believe in the American dream. As a Black gay woman, I do believe things are possible. Yeah, this country has things it should work on 100%. No country is perfect. And if you scroll through all my old social media posts, even through the years, I've said it time and time again. Yo, country ain't perfect. Rather be here than anywhere else. But I want to create a space where we can have those conversations. You don't have to like me. You don't have to love me. But the goal is for you to respect me. And my job is to make you think. I want to make you think. I want to expand your mind. That's the goal. I want to expand your mind. I want you to become a free thinker and realize that any out the box concepts and ideas are okay. Everything is not by the book. It's not. You learn more and more as you grow and develop. Things you thought were truths are not. Life is not black and white. It's a hell of a lot of gray. And people are afraid to address the gray because they're worried about being shunned or canceled. Well, I'm not here to cancel anybody. I'm not a fan of cancel culture, but that's a whole, that's a whole nother thing. But I want you to be a free thinker. I want you to learn to make your own decisions. I want you to learn to listen to two sides of a conversation and say, hey, I can take this from him. Really don't agree with that. I respect it. That's their view. But I resonate more with this person, or vice versa. You don't have to hate. People don't like to agree to disagree. I just recently posted something on my Instagram saying everybody wants to be right. You can be wrong. You don't always have to be right. People are so compelled to be right that they double down on their wrongs. They will stand firm in being wrong and strong, knowing they're wrong, just because they don't want to have to say, you know what? I was wrong. You're right. I'm sorry. We have to create a space where these conversations can be had and you can admit you were right, you were wrong, and you can move on. There are plenty of things I don't agree with, plenty. But I want this space to be a place where we can talk about it. Even in entrepreneurship, it's important to know that we're not going to agree on everything. I may not like the way you run your company. You may hate the way I run mine. And that's fine. But let's talk about it, because in this conversation, there are going to be some universal truths. There are going to be some universal truths. There are going to be some things I can take away from what you said to make me and my team better. There are going to be things you can take away from what I'm saying to make you and your team better. The whole purpose of the Do Work podcast is to create open dialogue. And I plan to bring you the guests that maybe may be a little controversial. They may not walk what most people believe or think, but I'm more intrigued by, well, why do you feel and think that way? Why is this your view on employment and minimum wage? Why is this your view on healthcare? Why is this your view on these things? Because as an entrepreneur, and I know entrepreneurs like, oh, we can't do, religion and politics. But I'm gonna tell you something. If you're an entrepreneur, religion and politics affects your business more than you know. And this is real. And just in real life, in day-to-day life, religion and politics affects a lot of your decisions in your day-to-day. Who and how you interact with people. So I find it odd that people can't talk about it without accepting the other side. So we really are going to spend time getting into this. Like we are going to get into this. I want to dig into it. I'm a firm believer in getting uncomfortable. And this podcast is going to make you uncomfortable. It's going to make me uncomfortable at times. But the goal is to make you think. I want you to be a free thinker. And I want you to know we're going to get on here some weeks and we're not going to agree with each other. We're not. We are not going to agree with each other. And that's okay. It really is okay. Like, I don't mind at all. We're not going to agree. But what I want to encourage here is respect of views. The last 3 years has shown us that we cannot respect each other's views. A lot of the chaos and disarray in our government is due to the fact that we cannot respect each other's views. You're supposed to be passionate about your opinions. You're supposed to be passionate about all these things. I want you to be. You should be. But if I like green and you like black, you can't make me like black. You can tell me why I like the color black, why you like it, and why you think I should be so invested in it. And I'm going to look at you and still say, well, I really like green. And I'm going to tell you why you should like the color green. And that's all right. The more we absorb and listen and really assess what's happening, the better off we'll be. The better off we'll be. So just know, as we discuss the various topics, and we're actually going to get in one tonight. I'm so excited to get into one tonight, since this is like, the first YouTube podcast. So excited. But we're going to get into some stuff tonight. But the goal is to make you think. Yes, I'm a motivational speaker. I am a business culture curator. I'm big on environment and company and culture and structure. I'm big on people being positive, finding their voice. These are all things we're going to talk about from week to week. I'll bring in different guests to help address it. And just know, anybody I bring on this platform is the real deal. 100% the real deal. Anybody I bring on this platform is the real deal. Like, this is, I want you to challenge the status quo. I want your comments, in the chat box. I want you to send me DMs for dialogue. I want this. And as we dive into not only the methodologies behind my Do Work method, life coaching program and business mastery program, as we dive into all that and dive in, just dive into what's happening, in our world on a day-to-day, we're going to find out some amazing things. You're going to find out some amazing things about yourself and your views. I'm going to find out more amazing things as I get to meet and speak with all of you. But this platform has been a long time coming for me, and I'm just super excited to like introduce this to you. So yes, you'll be able to find it on Spotify and Apple and all that fabulous stuff. Like it'll all be there. So I really want to get into it. I'm ready to get into it. So let's go. So I wanted to address I was watching the news and it's been on my feed. Everybody's been talking about the four brothers from Texas who beat their stepfather to death. Okay? Beat their stepfather to death because they found out he was molesting their younger sister. They are in police custody. They are going to be tried. So this is one of the questions I love to ask people because it goes back to right and wrong. It goes back to just the human condition. It goes back to when is it okay to break the law? When is it justified? So when I saw this, I personally was like, this is a no-brainer. Why are we wasting tax dollars on this? Why? Why are we wasting tax dollars on this? The guy, did something wrong. He molested a child, and now the stepsons handled it. They beat him to death. Did they go too far? I don't know. But it's handled. He will never touch that little girl again. So the question is, and you have to ask yourself, and I when it comes to really finding absolute truth, I love to challenge how people think. So I often will ask some of my clients, and one of the analogies I love to use is simply this. If a man robs, kills, and steals to feed his family, should he be arrested? Should he be sent to prison? Now, and this is a real question. And before you answer, I really want you to think about this. If a man robs, kills, steals to feed and support his family, once he gets caught, should he be arrested? Should he be prosecuted? Should he be tried? Human condition. Well, Diva, what was he supposed to do? He had to provide for his family. If these were his only options, then I guess it's okay. Flip side to that. Like, Diva, I feel sorry for him, but he broke the law. This is that gray area I spoke about earlier. More of our life is in that gray space than you think. And I'm going to say it again. More of our life is in this gray space than you think. So the question is this. If these boys, which they've already been arrested, should they be prosecuted? Should they be charged with murder? Or are they heroes? I'll give you my opinion. I personally would prefer not to waste tax dollars on this. We got a whole lot of other issues we need to be addressing. If four boys decide to attack and kill their stepdad for molesting their little sister, I'm here for it. I know you're like, David, that's rough. But this is one of those things. I'm here for it. Why? What's going to happen if they didn't kill him and they beat him up? We would have did what? Arrested him, sent him to jail. He would have got out eventually and possibly did it again. So why are we wasting tax dollars on things like that? I mean, that's just real. And I'm a hard ass on stuff like this. Like I'm a real hard ass on stuff like this. Like I just, if things are wrong, They're wrong. If things are wrong, they're wrong. And this is a rough one for me, but I personally side with those 4 boys. I would have did the same thing and been content with sitting in prison after, because I know what I did was right and I protected, my younger sibling. These are the things we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about the complexities of the human condition. We're going to talk about that. We're going to dig into it. And we're going to talk about you becoming better. So you might say, well, Diva, what does that have to do with me being better? The complexity of the human condition affects your choices. And the choices you make affect your quality of life. So in the do work method, a lot of the things we get into is, why are you making the choices you make? Why are you making the choices you make? And I want you to make the choices that are going to make your life better. And together we got to figure that out. And every week we're going to sit here and we're going to figure it out. I want you to figure it out. I want you to find your way. But to do that and find your way, you got to ask yourself some very real questions. You have to ask yourself some very real questions, and you got to answer them. Why do my relationships fail? I'm big on the why. And I tell people, like, it's almost like you got to go down the rabbit hole to get to the root of your issue. Why your relationships fail? Whatever answer you come up with, your next why. Your next why. And see where it takes you. But you got to keep going. You got to keep going. Why am I successful in business? This is why. You got to really dig deep. And every week, I'm going to bring people on that are going to force you to dig deep, that are going to force you to be uncomfortable. Because we don't grow unless we get uncomfortable. If you're not willing to get uncomfortable, I'm going to tell you right now, this shit ain't for you. It ain't for you. I don't want sheeple. I want people who want to challenge the status quo. I want people who like to question. Because the people who are winning and changing and growing are the people who are questioning. These are the people who are analyzing the human condition, how we work, how we operate. These are the entrepreneurs. They're assessing every little dynamic and thing that is happening around them. Growth comes from uncomfortability. And every week, the goal is to make you come here to this space, us have a discussion, and you get uncomfortable. Yeah, sometimes it'll be live. Sometimes it'll be pre-recorded. But I want you to get uncomfortable. I want you to challenge your thought processes, because that's the only way you're going to be better. Literally, the premise of the do work method and just everything I believe and stand for is simply this: nothing changes unless you do. Nothing changes unless you do the work. You have to change. You have to want to change. You have to do the work to change, and you have to be willing to change. This is your time. This is your year. This is your moment. I am your wake-up call. I am the voice in your ear. Tune in every week, because this is what's going to happen. You're going to change. You're going to grow. You will get better. You will improve, because that's what I want for you. So I want you guys to tune in. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel. We'll be live on Spotify and Apple. Like, I really want you guys to dig in and dig deep. And it starts with one simple question, and one simple question only. What is your why. Because your why is going to be your driving force for everything moving forward. Every decision you make, every thought you think, your why sets the precedent. So I ask you, what is your why? All right, I'm going to cut it today, but make sure, guys, to subscribe to the newsletter, Diva at divarichards.com. If you want to reach out to me, I do respond to my emails. Instagram, Diva Richards. My handle's the same everywhere. I love to continue these conversations, but it's time to challenge you. It's time to address the truth. We do not have to agree on everything. I'm perfectly okay with it. But unless we have the hard conversations, you will not grow individually. You will not grow in your life. You will not grow in your business. And as a society, we will not grow and change until we have these hard conversations and start listening and stop yelling at each other, just screaming, trying to be heard. This is your year. This is your moment. What is your why? What is your why? Ah, man, what is your why? What is your why? I really want y'all to think about that. What is your why? What is your why? The goal is to bring you guys together. Every week, I want to bring you guys together. Every Wednesday, 9 p.m., new episode drops. I don't care where you listen. Just listen. Send it to a friend. But it's time to level up. It's time to get real. And it's time to get fucking uncomfortable. All right, fam. That's it for tonight. Nothing changes. And I say this all the time. Nothing changes unless you do. Nothing changes. And don't ever forget it until you do the work. Let's go.